since it was like this, since it was Squaresoft joint. So it feels kind of like a Final Fantasy game that Mario just kind of happened to wander into. And so this is the Mario panel. And so it's neat in that like you'll never see a lot of the concepts will never show up again. Like a lot of the enemies just kind of like you know, Gino and Mabel obviously are just gone forever at this point, which kind of alright, sure, go ahead.
Favorite game, I'm gonna say is Super Mario 64.
Alright.
Because when I beat the game a couple times, then after I beat the game, I was thinking like, why not try to get everything? That's a really good question.
That's a good question because like it's not that you get much, it's that you thought you got something. It was when you know the rumors circulating that like you know Luigi being on top, getting a bunch of your hand was up for the thing.
I like that. I think it's Mario Touching Go, that DS game where you can shoot eggs and things.
Oh, Yoshi Touch and Go.
Oh yeah. And I also like Mario Kart.
Mario Sunshine.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be a little antagonistic. Let's see.
It had like all the running and jumping. It's like Mario 3D of Super Mario 64. But then you get the pump thing. It's like Mario can fly and look at the water. So cool.
Okay, I guess it's.
And then they took it away, and it was like, oh.
I don't know, because Mario games tend to seem like the Mario platformers, like the core Super Mario X game tends to go in cycles. We have like the Mario 1, 2, 3, right? And then usually 2 tries something different, and the third one just goes back to being something, you know, that we've already, it goes back to kind of being a perfection of the first one in the cycle. So it kind of felt like 64, Sunshine, Galaxy there. And Sunshine was the really weird thing, and I love Mario 2, and I really do like Sunshine, but it is my least favorite of the 3D Mario platformers.
It could have been better.
It could have been, but to be fair, it did have the awesome a cappella Mario music.
Yeah.
Eventually became Mario Galaxy. Yeah?
Just a side note before I go.
Yeah, sure.
Mario 2 isn't actually a Mario game.
It's not, but actually, interesting thing, it was made by the Mario team. It was the game they made after, I believe Zelda they made it after.
Wasn't it Doki Doki?
It was Doki
Yes.
Doki Panic. But what actually, have you ever played Doki Doki Panic? Has anybody in the room played Doki Doki Panic that isn't Mario 2? Anybody?
I
Okay.
think I was those screenshots.
It's, Doki Doki Panic is not good. Doki Doki Panic is actually really bad, and Mario 2 makes you appreciate what a second pass for a game really can do. Because like, people play Mario 2, like, do most of you guys enjoy Mario 2? It's great. It's also strange that most of that stuff will also never show up again in a Mario game. Like Shy Guys do occasionally, but like Ninjits and you know rocket ships out of the ground. That stuff doesn't happen as much anymore. But it is. It does make you appreciate, like, because it isn't a totally different game, but it's fixed in a lot of ways, and it's a lot more fun. And so I do consider also because Japanese Mario 2 is horrible and impossible, and I can't play it. Oh, it's okay. You're another panelist.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Nadine. Going on a Columbus Space Princess. Also, today was my only day to get into the dealer's room, so that's why I'm late.
So we were just talking about everybody's favorite Mario game. So go ahead, make your case.
3.
All right.
I'm old. I like old school. And that one, when I was younger, I would play it forever and ever and ever. And as you know, original Nintendo, it didn't come with a save feature. So what I would do is I'd wake up, play for a little bit, get yelled at, eat breakfast, go to school, come home for lunch, unpause it, eat lunch.
And burn the house down eventually.
No, I live in an apartment. But yeah, like I would leave it on. Same with all my other games like Sonic and whatnot. I just leave them on and play them until I finally couldn't do it anymore for whatever reason. Trouble, punishment.
Weird enough, Mario 3 without a save feature isn't quite a satisfying game. With the save feature, rather.
It makes it easier.
Yeah, it does, because like it doesn't feel like there's as much, like it doesn't feel like Mario 3 there are a lot of little bite-sized levels, and so it feels like an obstacle course to the end. Whereas so it wasn't really designed with the idea of no, you can stop, which kind of kills your momentum sometimes, but it also makes it easier to just like refresh and start again.
I think also with the newer version, it makes it easier to find cheats and stuff like that. Like back in the day, there was no internet for me to
There was a
search.
Game Cheese.
Yeah, but I can't even like we have to talk, I have to talk to people who are older than me who knew from somebody else. It's just mostly word of mouth, getting the whistles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So gaming back then, any of the games, except for 2 because I hate 2 with undying passion.
I love it too. But we just had the conversation. We don't have to argue.
I like the gameplay of 2 with the
I don't know if I'm playing Mario for the story so much.
Yeah, that's true.
Mario's hiding the entire time.
But there's really good story.
Who thought it was a good idea to eat mushrooms and jump into toilets?
Mario?
That's how he was high. He must have been a high plumber or highly depressed or something.
And the princess always bakes a cake and invites him over to his castle.
He gets money, he clutches turtles, and he gets a kiss.
I'm done. I go back to the
kiss.
castle whenever I
And that
handle.
cake.
I'm sorry, I'm
gotta
late
say.
playing the ponies.
Always
Always playing the ponies. I was like in the
That or
Ponyrama.
Homestuck.
I was actually in the Ponyrama and I'm just like, this is 350. Damn.
Favorite Mario game?
Favorite Mario game? That is a hard one. I would have to go Super Mario World.
Alright. That's a great game.
Like that is what I blame having really low marks in my high school classes on, is I have like a mini laptop that I do my work on, and I have like a virtual boy advance on there.
Oh god.
So I am just like, okay, I need to get that note down, but I also need to make this jump. So I'm going to just do an FU Yoshi jump and then go back to Legends. So yeah, I'd go Super Mario World.
Okay, anybody else? We were going through stuff, so yeah, sure, go.
I was just gonna say Super Mario World.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites because of just the way you traverse that game is so different from the way you traverse everything else. Pretty much every other game up to that point, because you could revisit levels and like get a Yoshi, get full stocked on all your items, get all your lives, and then tackle the next challenge. That was my favorite.
How easy did that game become once you found the secret place with the two feathers and the two fire flowers and the Yoshi?
Well, actually, that's the thing. Like, that's coming back to the save things. Like, that's how much the saving concept changed the game. Like, all the extra gates, everything that was returning to levels, that came because you could save and try another level again. You there in the middle, the mushroom.
Yep.
You mean?
Oh. It was my favorite game is Super Mario Land for the Game Boy because it was like it was my literal like first game I ever played of Mario.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was
Actually, yeah, my favorite game, kind of stuck to him because I actually wasn't allowed to play games when I was about like 10. And the first thing I got, And the first thing I got was a GBA, right? And so my two favorite Mario games would have to be Yoshi's Island and Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. Superstar Saga is an awesome game.
Superstar Saga is great. That whole, I don't like Partners in Time so much, but the whole, like the Mario RPGs that are
Mario panel?
the Mario RPGs that aren't, Mario RPG for the SNES are so great. They're really funny games. They're probably some of the funniest and best written games I've played in terms of comedy games.
The sequels aren't as great.
Bowser's Inside Story is really fun.
Speaking of comedy games in terms of Mario, I want to address the hate that Super Paper Mario gets. Mario was good. Wicked! Like, just seeing the flipping into 3D and stuff like that, and some of the dialogue you get from that is just... I saw a lot of people with hate for that, and I'm like...
I think a lot of people thought it was just going to be Paper Mario 3, and then they didn't get that.
Yeah,
it's like... Still a great game.
Are you talking about Super Paper Mario?
They don't appreciate all the work that went into it. Like all that little, it's not even 2D really, it's just flat, so it's 1D with elements of 3D in it.
It's paper.
Yeah. So 1D with 3D, which doesn't really equal 4D, but
Well,
Whatever.
I don't know.
better than equaling 5D.
Well, to me, it didn't live up to Thousand Year Door, which was an absolutely amazing game, in my opinion. That's pretty much. And it was the problem I had, and also it was way too easy.
Before you jump into that,
introduce yourself.
yes.
Yeah, I'm
introduce yourself and your
sad.
favorite
I'm
grade.
sorry, I'm really late, but I couldn't help it. No, I was at the My Little Pony thing, and then I had to. And then I had to go get my panelist craft, my registration for next year, and stuff like that.
I regret nothing.
So we're just going now. Everybody's favorite Mario games.
My favorite?
Yeah.
All time Mario RPG set Legend of the Seven Stars. That's my favorite video game of all time. There's nothing that could possibly, like, even if a technically better video game ever came out, it's just too nostalgic, because I remember being 11, not having very many friends, so I'd stay at home all day and after school and play Mario RPG.
We all picked really old Mario games.
And probably
like
second
11,
was
and
the
that
one
was
I
your
just mentioned, which was Mario Thousand Year Door.
So
but I'd have to say like my favorite Mario game for just lulz purposes would be New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Mostly because I refuse to play that game single player. Like, I will only play that game if I've got at least 2 or 3 other friends with me because I need someone to help me during the team things and someone to chuck into a pit.
You need to pick up somebody and just run with them. Well, you let them go. Just keep them up on top of you.
Yeah, but they can shake the Wiimote to get off of you. So what you want to do is you want to stand really close to a pit and be like, spin, boom, right into the lava.
Okay. How about this? Your favorite game that was really kind of like a lame shoot off, like for me.
Oh, well, that's like just a favorite Mario spinoff.
Or just a game, like it's just like a really weird game that doesn't really have anything to do with Mario. Like for example,
Mario is missing.
Yeah, well, stop Mario because like I can sit there.
These are all Mario spinoffs. Anything like things with Mario in the title that like your favorite Mario.
It's not in the original.
That isn't like that isn't the platformer.
Type A.
No. That's why all your medicine is actually just gigantic pills that are used to kill. But yeah, I could sit there and play that forever and ever, and then when I found out I could download on the DS, whoa, that just made washing breaks even more better.
Does WarioWare count for anything?
WarioWare.
He wears one of those.
You can flip the W over. It's fine.
Yeah.
Mario was in WarioWare.
There's plenty of like WarioWare games because like all of 9Volt's games in WarioWare are just remakes of NES games. So there is I believe in the first WarioWare there is just one where it's like you're just Mario constantly jumping up and down having to constantly do this.
No, that was your Wario. That was later on.
Yeah, there were Mario games.
Wario World on the GameCube.
The Mario games are great. I really like Wario Land 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's interesting because it is a platformer that asks you to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to run into enemies. You don't die very much. It's mostly just about solving the level, which is interesting because it's not quite a puzzle platformer, but it's also not quite like Mario. Jump on all the enemies, deal with them. It's interesting and not something you get a lot.
Well, probably my favorite Mario game is actually Wario's first game, Super Mario Land 2. Where it's everything I loved about kind of Super Mario Land 1, except I was 8 years old and Mario's kind of inherently trippy. So when I'm putting on rabbit ears and kind of flying, I enjoy everything that is Mario, but I'm also enjoying like a whole new kind of game that I don't think has been done too many times.
Is it Mario 2 that one of the levels is just a giant Mario statue?
Yeah.
Yes. Like what? What are you doing?
Wario Land really likes Mario.
Her and then Fred. Nice and loud, please.
Let's see. Like a spin-off, I'd probably have to say Luigi's Mansion. I love Luigi's Mansion. It's technically easy for me, but I don't know.
It's got so much charm.
It does, and I'm really excited for Luigi's Mansion 2 coming to 3DS, and that's one of the main reasons I got one.
He needs more shine.
Yep.
I'm
just wondering. I'm not like as big of a Mario player person. I'm just wondering what's wrong with Daisy? I've never really seen her very much.
I think she's an alien. The third eye in the macros, you never see her without the Tonga.
She was the original princess, and then
Pauline. She was princess in Mario.
No, she wasn't.
No,
Pauline was a
you rescued Daisy in Super Mario Land.
They used like the same color palette for her.
Yeah. The only game that you actually rescued her in,
Mario Land 1.
the Mario Land 1. That's the one you
Okay.
But she also did make an appearance in, was it Mario Was Missing, even though I don't think very many people have played that game.
You know when you did mention, how many times can you complete the mansion? I mean, it never ends. You complete it one time and then you can do it again and say, oh, it's different, but no, there's no different at all.
I remember there is something different about it being the second time, but I don't think there's anything past.
The second time was supposed to be harder.
Yeah, there's some difficulty setting for it.
And then there's the second
version of Mario.
Oh. Well, I was lied to.
We all were.
I guess I didn't do
Anybody else want to throw a topic out, or maybe your favorite Mario costume or something?
Just because I'm bad with names, what's that Wario game in which it's in color and you can be a vampire at one point?
Wario Master of Disguise.
Yeah, Wario Master. I love that game.
That's a cool game because like it went more puzzle platformy than Mario Land 4, but it was still really it was cool just because like all the different power ups. It has one of like
power up. Yeah.
It has some of the most powers I've ever seen in a game. There's like 50 or something. I can't remember.
Something about Wario games seems to drift away from the typical, platform RPG type game. They're more puzzle.
Well, they're made by
and fun in a different kind of way.
they're made by the team that made the original Metroid. They feel a little more like that. Like you need to figure out the level to solve it. You can't just fight your way through.
We had a question over here, Kevin.
Yeah, well, this just was talk about Mario in general. Every single time, like sports games, I'm not really into, but when Mario's in it, for some reason. All of a sudden.
Mario Kart. I don't like racing games. Don't love racing games. Love Mario Kart.
Striker's Charge.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, like
Nobody expected the Mario
soccer.
soccer game to be as interesting as it was.
As violent then.
And Mario Hoops Returns, no other game has made me throw my DS across a room more.
I remember when everybody was making gift sets and pictures from Mario Hoops. It was something so different. Like I love it, and I don't even like.
It's weird and it's cool. Mario sports games tend to be more arcadey, less about the sport and more about just doing ridiculous things like giant fireball soccer balls.
I hate to use sports games.
I also. We have a comment over here. Then we have the next video man over there.
So, what are your guys' favorite power-ups or most useful power-ups?
Tanuki.
Okay. Wait. You go in front because I'm gonna have to think for a second. You go from this way, I guess.
The Ghost in Mario Galaxy.
We don't see it often very much, like in 2 stage or 4.
I gotta say, I have a soft little kitty spot for the penguin suit. He's in the penguin suit. I can't help but call it the penguin suit. And it's just.
I got frog suit, but only because when you beat a boss, Mario's got to frog his way over to the other side. It's the slowest thing in the world. As for on the opposite end, the worst power up is Spring Mario Galaxy 2. Uncontrollably bad.
Thanks a lot. I personally hate the frog suit. I just hate it so much.
It's useless anywhere that isn't water. But
even in water, I just don't really like it. I just don't like the goddamn frog suit.
It is not the most useful suit in the world. It doesn't look at you
I still love my Tanuki suit. You get the statue and the tail and everything.
I think it was the guy with the camera, and then you, and then.
I wanted to expand on sports games as well as my personal favorite Mario game, Mario Tennis 64.
That is Mario Tennis. I didn't play much Mario Tennis 64. I played a lot more Mario Tennis for Game Boy, which also was weird because Mario Tennis 64 and Game Boy had very little to do with each other. One was an RPG and one was just kind of an arcade sports game. And we haven't seen much of the RPG tennis one come. I think Mario Tennis 3DS is supposed to be a little more like that with stats and stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know, Mario Tennis 64 never hooked me. I liked it a lot, but it wasn't one. I played a lot more of Mario Kart 64, I guess.
Okay.
On the topic of Mario sports games and Mario Tennis, Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy makes me laugh the most.
We'll have to talk about the Virtual Boy coming up soon.
Is there anybody here who actually owned a Virtual Boy at any point in time?
I think this room might be too young for that.
I've played a Virtual Boy, and the only game I played on Virtual Boy is what was it, the Mario Clash game? The one that it's essentially a 3D Mario Bros.
The whole idea behind it was just too weird for me to even get behind.
Virtual Boy or Mario Clash?
No, Virtual Boy. But like I said, we'll have to talk about that after. She had a comment.
Yeah.
I didn't have a comment, I actually had a question.
Okay, sure.
Where do you guys think that Nintendo's going to take Mario next? I mean,
Wherever
we've
he can
seen
go.
we've
gotten Galaxy 2, we're done.
Mario is to Nintendo what Barbie is to Mattel. So whatever they can do with her, Nintendo can do.
You've heard that here first. Mario Malibu Beach House.
It's gonna be a room, just one room full of pipes leading to other rooms.
I would actually take a survey of the room. Who here watches Zero Punctuation? Okay. Yahtzee's already brought this up. You've already taken Mario to space. You've taken Mario to space twice. You could go Super Mario Universe, but really you're holding out. It's gonna have to die. It's gonna have to die at one point, and they're gonna try and milk this cash cow for as much as
they went Mario 3D Land, they just kind of reversed back and just went, okay, we're back on Mushroom Kingdom. I don't think it's much of a big deal with the epicness of space. Mario's never been one to take the setting as the whole game. It's usually just kind of window dressing. The Mario 64 didn't have to take place in Paintings and Peach's castle. Mario Galaxy didn't really have to be in space. it was just they could have just been disjointed levels like in Mario 1. You know, it didn't really have to be the world. I don't think it's much of a problem. They can scale back as long as the level design is still great. I don't know if it's that much of an issue.
It's just pretty much a different theme.
Yeah, they could just make Mario in.
What about like a completely underwater theme? That would be pretty cool, I guess.
Well, yeah, but then there's no jumping. You're just A.
No, more like have like an underwater world type thing.
So Mario Rapture.
Super Mario Rapture.
Super Rapture.
As long as there's no frogs.
Mario was chilling in the castle, eating some of Princess Peach's cake, which, by the way, has pretty much become the metaphor for sex at this point. And suddenly God came down and went, I am mixing up.
Whoops, it's Mario Wind Waker.
Because I remember there was a level in one of the DS RPGs. I'm not sure.
There's a lot of underwater
I think it was probably the first Mario and Luigi Superstars.
Superstar Saga. No, there's a lot of there's an underwater level in Superstar Saga. There's an underwater there's entirely underwater levels in a lot of Mario games.
But I mean, where there was actually like a city.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, usually the Mario mainline Super Mario platformer games don't usually have cities other than like a hub area, like in Sunshine or Galaxy.
Well, the Superstar Saga one has a couple cities that you can.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the mainline platformers. The RPGs are different.
I mean, like they could always do what they did with Sonic.
Oh yeah, Mario Time Travel.
Like Generations.
Mario
and then you have like Little Mario and the updated Mario, and you switch between 3D and 2D, and then you have
Nintendo's always had this conceit that like the Mario games are kind of like there isn't really a difference between them. So I don't know. There is, but I don't know if Nintendo would really want to go out of their way and just goes like
admit it.
Admit it, yeah. They're not ones for admitting reality sometimes.
But maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. That keeps them making wacky, crazy stuff.
Hello, hi, Pokemon.
Yes.
What about like Mario Brothers in Time or the Time Travel?
Partners in Time?
Yeah, Partners in Time.
Partners in Time is a really funny game. It is the babies are like they add stupid amounts of complexity to the battle system. Now to do an attack, it's like A, X, B. What you cannot. It's like playing Guitar Hero for every fight. It's not fun.
Hey, maybe they should do that because Mario.
Mario VDR.
I need a Lego.
Mario Saga where you just play Mario.
Like today, going through the dealer's room, I'm like waiting for one of my friends to get his game, and I'm just like leaning up against his glass. I'm like. DDR Mario mix.
Wait, have you ever seen
So lost. They have like DDR for Disney.
Yeah.
I know, and that's what I'm getting really pissed off at is they're doing the same thing with Dissidia Final Fantasy. They're turning it into a rhythm game.
Well, no, but Mario. Wait, have you guys like in Japan the Just Dance series? In the Wii version of it has a Mario stage where it is just the guy in the that terrible Mario costume that Nintendo holds out to events sometimes. Yeah. It is that guy dancing to a terrible J-poppy version of the Mario theme, and it is the funniest video you'll ever watch.
Well, this is more of a speculation question. It says between Mario Sunshine that Mario is going on vacation, and he is a plumber, so to speak, but we never actually see him plumb. Or I guess
well, no, that's the whole plot of Mario. The original Mario Bros.
Right, but like since then we haven't actually seen him do anything. So what was he taking a vacation from?
Saving the world.
Saving the princess? I want to know, what does she keep doing to herself to keep getting like...
She's hot. He's surrounded by
I'm telling you, there's something going on between Bowser and her. She's gonna keep it.
You ever notice how they have a hit every time?
You have to go. No, never mind.
But doesn't
guys, let's try to keep this.
Doesn't Sunshine sort of address that though when Bowser Jr. thinks Peach is his mother?
Yeah, but then the scene after the credits was, I know Peach isn't, which is the weirdest scene in video games where Bowser Jr. goes up to Bowser and says that he knows Peach isn't his mom. So what was it? It's just the weirdest scene I've
Well, we had a comment.
Yeah,
and then Gingerhead.
Are we going to pretend that the Mario movie never existed?
No, we can talk about it.
You can talk about it.
Do we have to?
I just wondering. It's a Mario panel.
Mario Sunshine didn't the little Bowser refer to Big Bowser?
I'm sure there's some merit in it somewhere.
Refer to Princess Peach as Mama Peach?
Yeah, but then at the end, after if you watch past the credits, there's a scene where he goes up to Bowser in a hot tub and tells him, "I know Peach isn't my mom." What is all of this game about, then?
What do you guys think about Mario Party 9? It's very much different from the other games.
I think that I have not played a Mario Party game since Mario Party 3, I think.
Yeah.
Great one.
They are very much all the same. If it is different,
I don't know, the first two kind of.
Mario Party 1.
Yeah.
the controllers were already terrible, and I cannot hold them ever again.
Didn't they have to send out like gloves?
Yeah, they
to
did.
people who play Mario Party 1.
They sent out, I think, replacement controllers as well.
I will actually answer that one. Mario Party 1
mini game in Mario Party. Yeah, for people who don't know, there's one mini game in Mario Party 1 that asks you to spin the tug of war. That asks you to spin the stick, and you have to spin it so fast that your hand will burn.
There was one that was even worse. That was the bicycle one.
Yeah, all of it. And you notice that they have never ever done a spin the stick game ever again in a Mario game.
But to actually address the question, Mario Party 9. I've never played it, but I have seen a Let's Play of it.
That's the one with the buggy, right?
Yeah, that's the one where like all four of them are riding technically in the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't like the mini stars thing instead of capturing stars.
It feels what I can tell, because I think I saw this on the same Let's Play. It's like it feels like you were rewarding everybody for participating instead of everybody for doing well in the mini games.
But the way that I looked at Mario Party 9 is the same way I looked at Digimon Season 3. And that's like, wow, you just went right off the rocker. You did an experiment. It wasn't as good, but would I play it? Yeah, I'd play it.
But when you play it twice?
Would I play it twice? With new friends, yes, but if a bunch of my friends, like the same friends came up to me and like, you want to play Mario Party 9? No, I really don't. I want to play one of the old ones for the N64.
Even better question.
But Digimon Season 3 is awesome. That is true.
But this is not a Digimon fan.
I know, I'm just...
But here's the real question. Would you buy it or would you have rented it?
Oh.
Is it good enough to own?
Mario Party games for me were always just rented for a party. That was never a thing where I could
I would say borderline yes. That I would actually own Mario Party 9. It's the same reason I own Nightmare, the board game. It's like, I play it, then maybe like 4 months down the road, I'd play it again. But it's not like one of those things, it's like, every time I have a party, I bust it out.
Yeah.
Because then...
You would have played all the mini games 1,000 times.
Well, no, you'd be a horrible host.
It's true.
Well,
like,
you're doing, let's play Mario.
Stop it.
I don't want to go to your parties anymore.
But you know...
What I was gonna mention, the first experiences with the Mario movie, and also the worst Mario games you guys have played.
Okay, so Mario movie, God. The Mario movie is I've heard plenty of great comments about the Mario movie, but the Mario movie is interesting. Okay, the best part of the Mario movie, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing because this is the Mario movie panel, but the great thing about the end of the Mario movie is at the very end, after the credits, there's another after the credits scene where it's just like those two, Iggy and Spike, those two like weird, I don't know, were they mobster guys, I remember, were there, and the two, the two guys who look like they're the same guys that would be in the We Would Like to Play commercials 20 years later, are there telling them that they want to make their video game, and I swear it's the same people. They sound exactly the same, they look the same, they're wearing the same suits.
I haven't watched that movie in a terribly long time. I remember seeing it when it came out. Yes, that's how old I am. But like, yeah, it's just grainy to me in my mind, and it seemed really strange, and I couldn't really put two and two together. Like, this is the movie. What does that have to do with the video game? It seemed like
it made a lot of
almost like a spin-off.
Yeah, it made a lot of like small overtures, like here's a Bomb. These guys are called Yoshis. These guys are called Koopas. But nothing really.
It did not. It almost fit together. It's like a puzzle piece. Like you have like a edge piece and another edge piece when you want to put them together. It's like the same puzzle, but the wrong.
Yeah, except the problem is that the final picture you get when you finish the puzzle is a piece of poop. so.
Somebody tricked me into solving this.
When I was a little kid and I was 8, I actually liked that movie.
All right.
Yes.
All right, that's fair.
That's
That's
socially
totally
acceptable. I watch it now and I'm like, what the heck? Yeah.
Why did I watch it?
The thing is, it's just like if you don't view it as part of the Mario continuity, it's just a really weird, possibly drug-influenced
Seems like
science
that would've come out of
fiction
There is no
movie.
possibly about it.
Yeah.
For me, anybody ever watch a movie because it's stupid?
Yeah.
That's the main reason I watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie every year. I watched the Nostalgia Critics. I watched the Nostalgia Critics review of the Mario movie, and I am like, I am streaming this movie so hard at my next party. And so I did, and everybody actually knew that I was streaming it, so they came. And it was so awesome. It was so awesome for the sheer stupidity of everything. And me and my friends, we actually had to pause the movie at the Mario Luigi scene. We actually had to pause it at the end of that scene until we were done laughing. And we were high on a pop rush, so we were just like, okay, we're pausing, we're doing something boring, and then we're gonna come back to this.
Yeah.
And that was the same reason I checked out, and I was pleasantly surprised by the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh, I love that.
Which was, in my opinion, legitimately awesome.
Yes, it was.
It's actually not bad. It's surprisingly not
Like,
bad.
because
It's
I'm
not,
Italian.
It's not the greatest thing in the world, but...
I'm Italian.
Were
and
you
so
offended?
No.
Were you offended by the Mario movie because both Mario and Luigi weren't played by Italians?
No, I actually wasn't. And the reason was, I like...
No, he's great. So is Bob Hoskins. But...
When I watched the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, I was raised on pasta. And like, you know, I go home, I eat pasta, so it's like, when they started making the pasta puns in the Super Show, I was sitting back making my own. And then, like, in later episodes, I'd be like, I made that one like 2 episodes ago. And then there was like a carriage full of pasta sauce and like ketchup, and I'm just like, that is awesome.
It's fantastic.
It's one of those things where you really gotta turn off your brain. And it's like the only thing I've ever been able to turn off my brain to. The second thing being, excuse me, princess.
Close connection.
With the Mario movie, I can't remember the actor's name, the guy who played Luigi.
John
Yeah. Well, I saw a thing on TV once, like, where are they now? What are they doing now? And it was a tour through his house, and he had like all these photos of all the things he was proud of. And he goes, and now we're gonna move to my wall of shame. It was one big picture of Luigi. And the Mario Brothers movie. And it's like, I'm so sorry for everybody who was involved in this.
Well, I mean, Dennis Hopper went on every time Dennis Hopper talked about that movie. That he just immediately told the reporter to shut up and never talk about it again. He hates it, or hated it rather.
Yes.
Gray stripy shirt and then black shirt.
I speaking about the Mario movies, have you guys seen like the original like Japanese cartoon?
I have seen one of the OVAs.
It's like it was so I think it came out soon after the first game came out because Luigi actually has the same color scheme as Wario, and he acts a lot like Wario. He's called Luigi, but like he's like really wealthy and like goes after coins. And that's like the original Mario movie. Cause
I didn't see that one. I saw a much later one, like a Mario World thing one.
Yeah, the cartoon show that kind of went with the live action.
Yeah. Well, no. There's a Japanese OAV that was kind of a similar idea, but they only made like one episode. It's also not very good, but.
Well, talking about the Mario movie, I just think like there are certain series like Zelda and like Kirby or something where you kind of, in the back of your mind, want to say like, oh, I wonder what the overarching story is. Let's try to create a timeline. And Zelda's much easier, obviously, and they release one. But Mario, I feel like if you're going to try to make a story, you have to ignore a lot.
Well,
there are a lot of holes.
Yeah, but I feel that that movie was made for someone like, it's kind of like I felt like the subtext was like, yeah, you could try to make a story out of Mario if you really want to. Here, we try to do it. Watch what happens.
Yeah, well, what's cool with the Mario universe that there's so many things to pick and choose from, to pull from. Like that's what the Mario RPGs do. they kind of choose the elements of the Mario canon, like, you know, enemies here, plot points there, characters here, kind of mix them all together and see what you get. And the Mario movie kind of, you know, it tried to say, it's like, okay, but what if we try to make it more realistic and put it in the real world? And it was definitely going heavy off of the Mario World Dinosaur Land thing, which never really panned out that much in the series, I think. It just kind of stuck in Mario World in the first level. And I guess Yoshi's Island as well.
Did anybody ever play Yoshi's Cookies? Just wondering.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like I wanted it so badly, but my parents, they didn't even like me playing video games. I'm not sure why I had a Nintendo or a Sega, but yeah, I wanted to play it so badly, but I couldn't buy it, couldn't get it. Then one day, years later, I saw it in like a dollar store for like $2, and like I want it, but at the same time, I had to leave, so I never did get it. To this day, it just sits there.
It's a perfectly fine puzzle game.
Yeah, I love puzzle games.
There's one thing that I don't like about that game is that when the beeper goes off, it drives me crazy.
Oh, the noise it makes?
The noise it makes, it drives me really like, oh.
A side note, how have parents like transformed in terms of video games from
My
like
mother
back
plays.
then to now? Like my mother is a survival horror gamer, and so
Mine is a puzzle gamer, so sadly I got her hooked on both columns and the jewels.
No, my mom played Farmville. My dad really loved Mario Kart, like a lot.
like my mom played Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I just picked up Fatal Frame 2 for her, but I know that in the past it's like this game is about saving a princess and being a hero. You're not allowed to play this. Nowadays, oh, little 6-year-old Jimmy, you want Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? There you go.
But you know what? On that point,
anyway.
I need to bring this up. Girls in gaming. Why do they try and make like a Princess Peach game that was clearly directed to girls and clearly aimed to fail and make us seem like we don't play games, ergo don't make games for us. Just keep on making games for the boys.
I played a Princess Peach game. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't like it by no means blew my mind or was like a perfect platform, but it wasn't like it wasn't it was definitely like one of the lower tier games made by the Mario team, but it was definitely like saying something's a bad Mario platform.
I wouldn't say it was bad. It's
Yeah.
just that you can clearly tell it was supposed to be a girl game.
It's a little offensive that our superpower is PMS.
Why do people still flip out over girl gamers? I don't get it. Like,
there's a difference between gamer girls and girls
who
gamers.
play video games.
There's girls who casually play and, you know, they're the type to take remotes and stuff and put them on themselves and take pictures saying, I'm so hot, I'm so sexy, I play this. They're also the type of girls to call Link Zelda.
But then there's like, because like my family are, as much as I'm ashamed to say it, World of Warcraft players. And so anytime,
It's okay. We'll judge you secretly.
Judge me openly. I love the hate. But my mom is a guild leader, and so she's when she's leading raid, right? She's like, okay, this is how it's gonna go down. And then one person will go, wait, are you a woman? And my mom's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I'm sitting back going, no, it isn't. It's not any more or less cool than a guy playing. She plays, he plays.
Right.
Games are awesome.
I think it's only cool because she's a guild leader.
Okay, let's try to keep it. Okay, we got to run.
Sorry,
It's cool. It's cool.
I hate it when they make Barbie games. I'm just gonna say that.
No, you know what? That's for the little girls who love Barbie and the little boys. They're not for us. Really. Even when
Most challenging moment in a Mario game. Mine would be Luigi's purple coin.
Luigi's purple coins is tough. The Mario Galaxy 2 version of Luigi's purple coins, I have never beaten. It's terrible.
Can we include ROM hacks?
Yeah, no, we can't count Kaizo stuff. That's not fair.
Can we include?
We're talking legit here, sir.
Mario 2, all of Mario 2, all of Lost levels, all of Lost levels. Thank you. Good night.
I hate you.
Lost levels is so hard.
I'm gonna sound like such a wuss saying this, and I know I am, but Mario World, Super Mario World, Star Road near the end.
It's hard. No, that's
Near
hard.
the end of Star Road, I was just like, I have gone right through this level. Where do I go? Where? I have gone up. I have gone down. No! Going back to the main game. Yes.
For hardest, Super Mario RPG, Monster Town, when I first got that key off the building and walked into the secret room, which was the Final Fantasy boss. And I was like level 15 or 20 when I went in there. And so I hit them all. I'm like, okay, it's going to be hard. And the first turn, everybody in my team died. And I went through the entire game cringing at this one boss. When I finally beat the entire thing, I went back and was so furious the entire time. But it was so
Well, I was just thinking of ROM hacks, and that's one way of refreshing Mario, is to be able to put a level editor in Super Mario World.
They could totally make that into a game where
Yeah, it'd be great.
for the
So,
DSi or whatever, where you
yeah,
can make a
so-
level for a Mario game and put it up in the shop for download for everybody to play and rate.
Yeah,
There was somebody back there. Yes.
Yeah, Goggle Man.
What's your most disappointing moments in a Mario game?
Super Mario Bros. 2.
Wow.
Not biased at all. I'm sorry, that's my default answer for whenever I'm just upset about anything in the Mario world.
Disappointing. I'm gonna say Partners in Time, because I really love Superstar Saga.
Yeah.
And Partners in Time was just, and maybe since I'm not good at that game, I can't do all the controls I need to beat those levels. The babies are far too hard to use. And that game just went right over my head. And I beat it. I got to the end of it, and I hated every second of it.
Disappointing. Worst or most disappointing?
Most disappointing.
Most disappointing.
Trying to think of what games I played in the area that were disappointing. Because usually the games that I legitimately were bad, such as Mario Teaches Typing or Mario's Time Machine. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I figured this out. I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, I think I was about 10 years old. My dad and I won a contest in the newspaper, and what do you think we won? A Virtual Boy! But we got our name in the paper, and that was much better than playing the actual game.
Yeah, you can cut that out, frame it, put it on the
You get that,
wall.
put it up, and you can look at it forever, unlike a Virtual Boy.
It has no retail value whatsoever, and it's only good for collector's items, and even then,
Or if
collector's
you
items.
really want to give yourself a headache.
Who wants to really do this all the time? You know?
I've seen people who have made like hanging it from a ceiling like stand so they can play it by line.
Not gonna lie, I've actually wanted to do that with my laptop, just sit there, just type like that. Or if any of you texters, that dilemma where you're going one like this, and it's like.
But most disappointing. Galaxy 2.
Really?
Yes.
I love Galaxy. I want to hear that.
Galaxy 2, like, I guess I'm not gonna say it's a bad game, because we're not talking about bad, we're talking about disappointment.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe my expectations were a little higher, because I'm like, once you figured out how to do the zero gravity thing, I'm thinking, take a look at the fans that abuse that mechanic right to hell, and then go around that. But we could still abuse that mechanic right to hell in it. And the only thing that I think improved Galaxy 2 was Yoshi. And even then, you had him go on a spicy chili pepper spree, and that was pretty much the best thing you could do with him.
I guess for me, like I was excited for Mario Galaxy 2, but for me it was like I guess I wasn't excited because like, oh man, brand new Mario game, fix everything. For me it was just like Galaxy was great. I sure do want more levels, and I guess that's just what it was. I kind of viewed it as like, okay, essentially expansion pack, and there was a lot of like cool new stuff. Like there were new power ups. They weren't all of that great. Like yeah, Yoshi's cool, but he doesn't really do that much in that game. But the level designs in Galaxy 2 are just as perfect as they were in Galaxy 1.
Yeah, like I said,
it's not a bad game, but I can understand your disappointment. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I think with games like that, it really is more like an expansion pack than it is like a whole new game.
And Mario
But
never
I
really
guess,
had
like,
expansion packs.
No. It's almost like even a hack fix or, glitch fix, Whenever they come up with like a first version and then a second version, at least with like, if you look at Super Mario 1, 2, 3, they're all in the same chain, but they're all independent of each other, whereas Galaxy, it's like, okay, I'm still galaxy, and it's still the same almost. There's just a little bit differences here and there.
Again, it's the levels. It's not the presentation. It's all about the levels.
So what you're saying
But the
is
levels.
The levels are really different. I don't know. I guess maybe it's just my opinion about the levels.
Let's go to our audience.
So Super Mario Brothers versus the Lost Levels, seeing as they use the same assets and everything, it's not a.
It's a similar. You can make the same kind of comparison, except Galaxy 2 is not impossible. But I hear you. But the thing is actually because the thing with Galaxy 2 versus Mario 2 is that Mario 2 kind of did just remake Mario 1's levels, but just added impossible things like poison mushrooms, invisible blocks over pits, enemies that take longer to die. Just all kinds of adding difficulty to individual levels. Whereas Mario Galaxy 2 just went and said, let's make new levels.
Lost Levels can eat me.
Yep. Lost Levels is really bad.
Yes.
So would you consider that disappointing?
No, because I never had high expectations for it. I guess because it's the Lost Levels. There's a reason they're lost.
Yeah. Very good reason that they are lost.
I don't think they were lost so much as they were tossed.
Yeah.
Yes. Well.